half of this, and you've got Nanette for half of this, and we are talking how to market your book using Facebook and video painlessly. And so this is a part of a package deal you got from us, and we'll talk more about what's included in this package. Here is the thing that Nanette has produced, a book called Ella Jane and the Jazzy Cat. And so she is a recently published author, and here is my book called Inmate. If we put the two together, we get Ella Jane, the Jazzy Cat, and Inmate. Anyway, so we're published authors, and we'd like to share what we've learned along the way. Doing that, we are mainly social media types, and we go all over the place doing workshops on the topic of video marketing. So we've just combined our two areas of expertise, writing and video, and want to share that with you. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to talk about why you have to be considering Facebook in your book marketing, how to do it, and what you should be doing on Facebook. Now, we've got an alumni group of past video students of ours, and we'd like to invite you to join that alumni group after this. We'll send you instructions for how to do that. And here is Don. Don has come back. Don, can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Don?
Yes, thank you. I had some technical problems there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Hello, Don. We're gonna turn off our mics in a little bit, and you'll just be able to chat with us using a chat box that's on the screen. If you hover over the top or bottom of your screen, the chat box should come up. Okay. Or the word chat will come up, and then you'll be able to click on that and chat with us.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, and then just drop us questions or comments along the way, and whoever's not presenting, Nanette will respond perhaps, and vice versa. So meet my presenter, Nanette. Donald.
Hi.
Hi, Don.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Old friends, yeah. We go way back.
Yes,
wow.
We do. Way, way back.
And he is way far away in South Carolina where it's warm and green.
True.
So I was just saying, as you came on, Don, that all of you will be invited to join our alumni group after this. It's an alumni group containing people that have taken our video workshops in the past. And we want you writers to use it as a place where you can discuss with us and with the other people who are in there the content possibilities for what are you going to put on video? What are you going to put on Facebook? In case you're confused, we've got bunches of ideas of our own, but I think we want to invite you to use that as a place to discuss those ideas in terms of what content would work, okay? Mm-hmm. So you'll see this message when you get to the alumni group, and you'll get a note from me afterwards explaining to you how to join that group. So I am part one, and I'm talking about video, and part two is over to Nanette, and we'll try to do that halfway into this hour and a half we're spending together. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for finding us to sign up for this webinar. So here's, now I'm going to turn off all of your cameras, which I haven't done yet, and turning off all of your mics if I can figure out how to do that. Yeah. So, pardon me, got to go back up one. This is a portrait of all of the writers I know. When I tell them they have to use Facebook and video, this is what they do. No, and please don't make me do that. No. And so we're here to tell you, what are we telling them, Nanette? Don't panic. You can do it. All right. And so we're going to give you all the ways to not panic. And I've just turned off all of your cameras, I hope. So as I'm talking here, drop in the chat box, if you could, answers to any and all of these questions, if you would be so kind. Do you have a website in which you're promoting your books or your writing? A website, not Facebook. Do you have a Facebook business page already? Do you use email marketing at all? Have you ever recorded a video at all and uploaded it to the web or to Facebook? And are you already doing book signings or readings or any events of that sort? All of that would just be helpful for us to know. Okay? So if you don't already have one, know that if you're a writer or an author, you need to have an author-only business page. And I want to emphasize business page. In other words, not the page where you're connecting with your friends and family on Facebook, your personal page. It must be business page. I know that Ruth has one. I think Don recently set up one. Terry, do you have one at all? You could answer in the chat box. So if you've got a page and you think you've got the right one, if people are friending you as opposed to liking you, that's an indication that you have a personal page, not a business page, and that makes a difference. So check that out. All right, so having a business page is what we're trying to achieve, because having someone like that page or becoming your fan, as it were, is the equivalent of subscribing to your newsletter, and that's what we want. So ultimately, your goal in using Facebook is to get people to like your page so that they're going to see your content there all the time. This is just a little bit of backing up. Why are we talking Facebook? Because it still works. It's still #1 in social media, despite what you might think or wish was true. Facebook is #1. And in the terms of how readers use it, readers of books use it, here we learn that avid readers rely on Facebook as a means of finding out about their favorite author and what that favorite author is reading or writing at that moment. So know that, you see what it says here, 88% of avid readers are following their favorite authors on Facebook. That's reason #1 to be on Facebook. Furthermore, here's the way some experts in book marketing talk about Facebook. It's building a bridge to your readers. So there you are in your little cubbyhole writing all the time. You need to somehow reach out to the people who are going to be reading your books. And so Facebook is one of those many ways, and Facebook plus video makes it a great way to reach out and build that bridge. From writers, I often get this response: I can't sell, I don't want to sell, I don't want to market myself. Or as somebody said to me recently, I don't want to prostitute myself in selling your books. You are not prostituting yourself if you're trying to let the world know about that book you've just produced or intend to produce. So you're really using Facebook as a means to build relationships, to start building relationships with your current readers or future readers. And your ultimate goal is to get invited into their room for tea. They're going to want to have tea with you. So think of it that way, as opposed to prostituting yourselves or just becoming a salesperson. So how are books marketed today? Okay, are you ready? We're using all of these tools: email and blogging and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all the rest. And you might be doing that all on your watch or on your phone. And some of the old school stuff has not yet gone away. We're doing press releases, maybe a brochure or poster about our events. We're doing paid ads. Maybe we're doing direct mail. Those are all avenues to marketing. And if you try to do all of those, you are going to do this.
Go down like the Titanic.
At last, Nanette is laughing. We're going to crash and burn if you try to do more than one thing at a time. So that's what we recommend. Master one thing, one step at a time, and then move on. In this case, I'm recommending Facebook as the first thing you master, and then video second, and then the two of them together. You do not want to feel like these guys here, like you are just drowning in the social media world. Here's another reason why you have to be using Facebook to market yourself. The reading public is spending 40 minutes a day. Nope, guess what? That's been...
Wow.
Yeah, it's up to 50 minutes a day now. Just on Facebook. And I know that people like Don Best and others are saying, no, that's not happening. But know that there's plenty of people spending that much time per day on Facebook, and that's why you have to be there. All right, so that's why we're here. The point is for you to be where the eyeballs are, for you to be on that big giant billboard on the side of the road for people to see as they pass by.
And Christine, if I can jump in here.
Please do.
I think, we look at that 50-minute thing. It's something that today, in today's scheduling world, we need to learn and practice and make a habit of scheduling that time into our to-do list. So when you plan out your week, that 50 minutes, it's de rigueur has to be included in your weekly planning.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I do always recommend that people set aside time in their week to manage your Facebook presence, your social media presence, and to pay attention to what others are doing. Absolutely. Thank you. Let's see. So you want to be right there in between when people are looking at their kids and their cats. You want to be inserting yourself in the midst of all of that. So here's what we know. We like what our friends like. What's that? That's word of mouth marketing, right? And we've always known that that works. It's especially true on Facebook or social media of all types. What we've learned is that 68% of people will buy something because somebody has mentioned it on Facebook. So why not have that thing be your book, your writing? We do know that there's ultimately a return for your investment of time. People have actually attempted to measure it. It's difficult in this writing world for sure, but know that if you invest time, the end result will be sales of some sort. So if you're new at the Facebook marketing of your work, know that there are some tricks you can do to gain traction when you're brand new, because it's hard. You're sending a message out in a bottle, right? Who's out there? If you're new, how do they know you're there? There are some things you can do when you're starting out to gain some traction. And one of the best things you can do at the beginning is to ask your friends, invite your friends to come like that business page. Does that fill any of you with fear, or go back to that "are you prostituting yourself" question? The answer is no. I want to suggest to you that you beg them if you have to. Okay? So there's a mechanism built into every business page over to the right or to left, they keep moving it, that enables you to ask your friends to like the page. And then a list that looks something like what you see here on your screen will pop up. And you can go through one at a time saying, yep, Ken cares about my book. Jennifer doesn't, Amanda might, oh, I've already asked Margot, and on and on. So if you've got a bunch of Facebook friends and family, consider doing this as one of your first steps. If you don't have friends and family over on your personal page, work on that as well. So that little mechanism is a great way for you also to support your fellow writers. You can use that invite, which is going to pop up here. Invite friends. Invite your friends to like this page. So here's Nanette's, a little snapshot of Nanette's author page. I cut it up. And right on the right-hand side, if I'm visiting her page, is this blue type that says invite your friends. That would mean invite my friends to, hey, go check out author Nanette Perrot's author page. And that's the type of thing you should do with your own page, and then think about doing it with other writers you hang out with, other ones that you want to support, and furthermore to do it to other businesses that might be associated with you, or you want to be associated with them. Bookstores and other venues where you might do readings, publishers. Doing this, inviting people to other pages, is just spreading good love around, and in return, people will often come and like your page in return. So
and Christine too, this is to highlight just what you just said. So when you have your Facebook author page and you are inviting people, they give you an opportunity to write a special note. So when I wrote a note to Christine, I didn't just blindly invite her. They actually gave me an opportunity to write her a personalized note, which I did. And so I very consciously, and you should too, just be very conscious about going through who you want to invite into your group, and develop a nice little note. People love to get a personalized invitation, and that also ups the specialness of you inviting them into this new author-specific page. Like, why does someone else have to join another Facebook group, blah, blah, blah. So that's a wonderful touch that Facebook has added in that.
Absolutely. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, it used to be just a pre-formatted note, right? Like, come join my page. Blah.
You can edit it now. It's beautiful. It's nice.
Excellent. Thank you. So here's a question to you. Again, this is when you're new and as you go along. Are you using your Facebook business page cover photo wisely? So if you don't know what the cover photo is, it's that big banner photo at the top. People call it a banner photo and a timeline photo. It's officially called a cover photo. So that might be important for you to remember, because that's what Facebook refers to it as, cover. So that's a whole bunch of real estate on your page. And so you want to use that to do the most important thing. So in my situation, I've got at the top of my page right now, this snapshot of the cover of my book and just the synopsis that's on the back of it and directions on where you can find it. So go to Amazon. Moving along, we've got, here's a snapshot of Nanette's cover photo, which she's got, and she's got built into it the web address where you can go buy her package of the book and a recording that comes with it. And look at this button here, Shop Now, right? That's called a call to action button. And it is programmable. And you need to go look at your page and program your button. Nanette, when did you do this?
When I realized I could. Basically, I'm always checking out what the competition is doing. And I saw how the other people had a Shop Now button. So I just Googled how to add a Shop Now button to my Facebook page cover. And it was easy. It was very, very easy. So yeah. You should do it. There's no reason why you shouldn't be doing this.
No reason why you shouldn't. And if I were to click on that button, it would lead me to this web address she has built into her banner. Meaning it would lead me directly to the place where I can read more about it and press the button to buy it. And that's why you should consider doing it. You want to change up that cover photo every now and then. Don't have it always be the same thing. But as you're starting out, put up there whatever is the most important thing for you at this moment. I frequently will have my events up there, a snapshot of the workshop that's coming next week or whatever it is. So use your cover photo and use it wisely. So here's what the big guys are doing. Stephen King himself probably didn't make the cover photo up here, and frankly, I don't like it much. Down at the bottom, she's used it to show you every one of her books, and it's a little crowded, but nevertheless, no, that's what people are using, okay? I'm gonna back up a little bit. I forgot to say at the beginning, this is being recorded, sound and video, and you will be sent a link to this in video format probably tomorrow morning. After we're done here, so that you'll have this presentation at all times to look at, okay? So now, your job, after you've done those two things, you've got an awesome cover photo and you've asked a few of your friends to come like your brand new business page. Here's your job. Fill the page up with something really, really, really interesting every day. Every day. Yes, I mean that. Once a day, every day, no more, no less. And here's the response I get from writers when I say that. Am I right? Type in the chat box if you think this is too big a burden to bear. Posting once a day to Facebook. Once a day, every day. Let me know how you feel about that. Ruth has heard this from us before, but I don't know about Dawn and Terry. It's true. Once a day, every day is what causes people to notice you and to, furthermore for Facebook, to know that you're doing something on your page and they will reward you. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But if I say you have to do something every day on Facebook, do not do this. Do not take that as an excuse to just sell your book. If you start using this terminology in your posts, check out my book. Go buy my book. My book is free today. Pretty soon, your fans are going to unfollow you pretty quickly because they're going to get tired of that same message. So you're going to have to change it up a little bit. Think about, instead, the do's are, talk about your writing process. Talk about your marketing process. That's legitimate. Promote other writers. Talk about other writers. Mention what you're reading. Mention others. Give the background to your story. That's always interesting to people. How did you come to write the thing that you wrote? And then your ultimate, writing those do's, you want to strive for interaction. Get people to respond, right? Your ultimate goal in posting once a day, every day, is get people to come like your page, but turning that around, it's so you become known as an author, okay? So that people come to know you and know, like, and trust. That's the 3 key words in marketing, is it not, Nanette?
Know, like, and trust is my mantra when I meditate. No, it's not.
But it should be. Perhaps it should be. So what are you going to post, aside from those do's that I just mentioned? the things you want to think about when you're about to post something. That post should be entertaining for the reader. It should engage them. It should enrich their lives and or enlighten them. So that's a pretty broad recipe to fill, right? Easy to entertain people, and you should think about that every now and then. Even if dancing cats have nothing to do with your book, think about throwing up something about a dancing cat every now and then. People love entertaining videos, and they will come to know, like, and trust you if you do that kind of thing. Terry is skeptical.
No, she's probably laughing because it only took you 20 minutes to mention a cat in your webinar.
It only took 20 minutes to get the
20
cat.
minutes, and they got the cat in.
It's always about cats for me. Nanette will tell you. It's she who wrote a book about cats.
I know.
You want to put up stuff that engages people, which means prompting them to respond in some way. It can just be enriching to their lives, something they may not know about the topic you wrote about. Here's a little tidbit I learned along the way, that type of thing. Or something that's just enlightening. Here's something enlightening about the publishing industry, or the way we read today, or the way we buy books. Any of that counts as good post material. And give you, so once a day, every day, if you're still going, what the heck am I going to talk about? Here are some examples from my author page. So over on the left-hand side, I just made a post. It was really a shared post from somebody else about the writing process. I know Nadette does a lot of this on her page, the process she used to get to her book, which is a children's book, and to get to her recording. She'll talk more about that. On the right-hand side, I made a post that is hinting at what my second book might be about. So we're all working towards writing series, right? Because the publishers say they want series, or the bookstores and the readers say they want series of books. So give them a hint at what you're writing on. That's good content. On the far left here, I made a post that was just expanding on the themes in my book, which my book's inciting incident is the Spanish flu epidemic of 1918. So I just dropped in something more that I've learned along the way about the Spanish flu epidemic. In the middle is one where I posted a picture that inspired the book, and I'm inviting people to comment on it and guess which person in that picture is my grandmother, who is the central character in my book. And on the right, I had two drafted covers for the next book in the series, and I asked my readers, which one do you like better, this one or that one? And which title do you like better, this one or that one? Now, the second book is just barely a glimmer in my eye, but that doesn't stop me from using my readers as sort of a focus group and turning it around to give them something interesting from my point of view on my page. Okay? So I hope that helps you a little bit with content ideas. And like I said before, drop in to our alumni group after you've got access to it and raise questions about what your content should be, or run some ideas by that group. We'll try and weigh in when we see it. Terry is saying once a day would be a relief. A relief, meaning, are you already striving for more than that, Terry? If you could answer in the chat. No, well, we'll stand by for that one. Okay, so, yeah, what's going on here? All right, your goal in all of these posts is to elicit an emotional response from your readers. And that emotional response can be anything: crying, fear, laughing. It's much like the writing process. Isn't that why we write? We're writing to elicit a response. So just keep that in mind as you're writing posts for social media. It works the same way, okay? So eliciting that response is not just to do it for the sake of doing it, but do it so that people are going to like your post, they're going to comment on it, they're going to share, or they're going to give it a thumbs up. And that's what Facebook calls engagement. And engagement is what Facebook loves. Facebook loves the fact that people are interacting with your page, so that's your goal. I have the word algorithm down there at the bottom. Just spelling it is the extent of how I understand algorithms. All right, but Facebook has tricked out their coding to give you preference in other people's news feeds if you are posting things on Facebook that people like, comment, share, and gives a thumbs up. So in other words, do good for yourself, do good for your reader, and ultimately Facebook takes notice and will reward you, okay? So again, hop into the alumni group for discussions of more content, and you'll have access to that group forever if you want it. All right, we're just about to hand the controls over to Nanette here, but first I want to show you a book trailer. So this is tiptoeing towards the concept of video here. Nanette's going to talk about live videos and all sorts of videos, and this is a video that is entirely made of one still photograph. Okay, but it's representing what one can do with with real simple video editing tools. And it's a book trailer. Think movie trailer, only for a book. Okay, we're gonna hope that this actually works.
Marshall Cameron, America's most beloved senior newscaster, is in the early stages of Alzheimer's. Now he's missing. His daughter, Darcy, a member of a canine search and rescue team, is called out to find him. But Darcy isn't the only one looking for her father, whose past is more complex and disturbing than she ever imagined. Probability of detection, new from Lincoln Valley.
Doo-doo. So isn't that awesome? It's just a short snippet. I think it's 30 seconds or less. It's one still photograph with a title that pops up at the end, and it's got some music behind it. Not rocket science in terms of video editing, but everyone who has a book really should think about producing such a thing as this. Here's a way to think about what should be in your trailer. I think of a trailer basically as a commercial for the book. You want to write out what you think you want to say. You want to spell the word concise correctly. I have a typo in my...
Oh, concy.
Oh, no. Write out a script, clear, concise text and imagery, and then write out a strong opening. Simple ideas are best. One idea is best. You saw the one that we showed you. It's the only idea is here's what the book is about, and here's the title. Don't summarize the plot in your trailer. Don't give it all away. Choose music carefully. The music has got to fit the mood, doesn't it? So that's just real brief on trailers, and I think everyone who produces a book on their own these days really must think about producing a trailer. Even if you've got a traditional publisher, they're unlikely to do this for you, so you want to be doing this as part of your marketing. All right, a brief word on Facebook advertising, and then I'm going to hand this over to Nanette. Everything I've talked about so far is designed to help you get eyeballs on your stuff on Facebook and ultimately on your book. And it's all happening for free. Your activities that are going to be consistent on Facebook are what will cause people to see your stuff again and again. But ultimately, you're going to want to think about Facebook advertising, which is to say, pay a little money to get that information to a broader audience than those who've already found you. Some of you may have already done a boosted post. That's the fact of you put up a post on Facebook already, people have seen it, and then you boost it to deliver it to people beyond who already like your page. Some of you may have already done a promoted event. You can create an event that should be capital E on Facebook. Let's say, in this case, an event being, I'm appearing at Gibson's bookstore next week, and here are all the details. That's a special feature in Facebook, the event feature, and once you do it, you can promote it, meaning pay a little money to get that event in front of more eyeballs than just those who already like you. It's all about the eyeballs, and you got to consider doing Facebook advertising to get beyond who already know about you. All right, so if that is a topic that interests you, I'm doing a webinar on just that topic. It's an hour and a half on April 10th, and I will send you a link to all that information. Just if you're interested at this point, it might be worth your while. Okay, so this is, I think, my final note. This is Nanette got this immediately. This is marketing your book is a marathon on the left, as opposed to the 100-yard dash. Or I'm making that up. I'm showing my ignorance of what I can't even tell you what a fast race is. But it's not a fast race. It's a marathon. It's something you have to do way, way, way in advance of publishing for real and forever after, so that that book gets into as many hands as possible. Am I right?
Yes.
So let's, speaking of video, so here's a commercial for a thing that you guys will get for free. Because you're enrolled in this webinar, you will get our bundle of Facebook tutorials for free. And we will send you information right after this on how to click through and download those tutorials. So here's a little, here's a little commercial we did about that video. I mean, about that package, okay? Stand by.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris Halverson. And I'm Nanette Parat. We are the Video Marketing Mavens. I've been doing social media marketing for businesses for 15 years. There came a time when I didn't know it all. I also needed best button. I'm a jazz singer and I love the camera, I love the stage, I love the bling, I love the makeup. My job when we work with you is to make sure that you shine naturally in your best way, but you also do have a bit of showbiz and jazzy glitz. Social media is exploding with video, and that means you've got to get on board. With our video marketing and broadcasting premier bundle, we are ready to film, ready to get into action. Our bundle is going to help you in the content you need to be able to communicate your message on camera. The link for this is below. We will see you on camera.
All right, that's a little commercial for what you're going to be able to download. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey everyone,
You don't need to see it again. All right, so I'm going to pass the baton over to Nanette, who's going to take the rest of our time to talk about video and everything she's learned along the way. There might be a little bit of delay while I get her going as the presenter. You've got your baton in your court, Nanette.
Okay, share. All right, continue. All right, so I want my desktop.
And drop into the chat box any old time with questions, comments, and I'll be monitoring those as we go along.
All right. So here we are. Welcome, welcome. Can everyone hear me okay? Great, okay. So we're going to talk about specifically with video. And the areas that we're going to cover are Facebook video, Instagram, and YouTube. These are the three main ways that you're going to work with video depending on who your population is, who it is that you have written your book for. So first of all, who is this person that's sitting here, namely me? Who's that girl? I started out performing really, really young. I'm on the left there in my rock band Girls that stood for Get It Real Loud. As you can tell, I was really confident being in front of people, leading an all-male band. And then there I am on the right. I used to work for Walt Disney World, which will become apparent when you check out what I did for the illustrations for my Ella Jane the Jazzy Cat. So I used to work for Walt Disney World, very much as a tour guide, and I would do the presentations before the shows. And then here I am today doing multiple streams of income with Lux Lifestyle, which is a coaching program that I have for food, fitness, business, and life. I'm a second-year Airbnb superhost, which is a fascinating experience. If you ever want to hear about it, I will tell you about it. And then I'm very proud to say that I have Ella Jane the Jazzy Cat, an Ella Fitzgerald fable that was released in January of this year. It's a children's ebook, audiobook, with a bunch of other things. So I'm coming at this experience as really as a creative who's learning, thanks to Christine, a lot about marketing and how to sell without selling. So we're going to start with Facebook. First of all, everybody, even Sydney Sheldon, has a Facebook business page. And Terry, that's very important, and everyone, that you have a business page, not your personal page. That's step one, so set that up. And then by extension, your Facebook author page is for your fans. So when you look at this Facebook business page that you have here in front of you, these are strangers, and anybody can surf Facebook and like your page. Anybody can like this business page. However, your Facebook author page is going to be a page that you invite your friends to. So you're not really asking them to like your business page. It would really make me happy if you liked my business page, but you're inviting them into a very beautiful, to get groovy, process. So think of who you would want to offer a glimpse into your creative process. Because once you get your Facebook author page going, these are your fans. These are the ones that really know, like, and trust you, and they want to see exactly what it is you're doing. What I did before I launched my Facebook Nanette Perrott author page was I had a clear storyline leading up to pre-sales, which I didn't quite get my act together enough for that this time around, and then a storyline leading up to the launching. And they will get excited. I think there's 180 people in there, 170 some people in there. I got so many messages about people being excited about being in there and seeing the process. So they will be excited once you invite them in there. This also is a point where I want to illustrate why you're going to use video as much as possible on your Facebook author page, on your Facebook business page, on Instagram stories, and on YouTube, because people like it when you show them, as opposed to tell them, blah, 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 whatevs, blah, 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 blah. Consumers today expect video. It is the one and only way that people really want to see you as a person, see you as a creative entity. So as you enter into this Facebook author page, Instagram stories, YouTube channels, remember that video should be your number one thing. And if you want to get comfortable on video, well, you're going to need some basic tools. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this because if you want to know more about video marketing and broadcasting, you'll get the bundle that you're getting with this webinar, and that will tell you a lot. But I just want to make sure that there's basic video tools to reach out in all these forms: a phone, which has the camera, a desktop tripod, a floor tripod with an iClip. Again, these are all things that you'll learn about in your bundle. A small light, and a microphone. Very simple, nothing fancy. Anytime you do video, you have to get ready to go on camera. Anytime you go on video. And that includes thinking of what your makeup is, what your bling is. I got some bling on myself. What the lighting is like, what the camera angle is like. And you have to have notes. Oh yeah, my camera angle right now is kind of weird. But you have to have your notes available, not a script, not a script. When you're doing video in these various groups, people are there to see you in your natural, organic form. But you also don't want to waste their time. So just have bullet points on your notes, and don't write a script, because they will be able to tell when you're reading from a script. To get Ella J and the Jazzy Cat out there into the world and launched, I created a short 30-second promo that I used primarily on Facebook, and I did use on Instagram. So my population in my Facebook author page is a slightly lower age range than what's on my Facebook business page, which is interesting because this is a children's book. So I attracted more of the younger crowd onto my Facebook page. So here is the short 30-second pre-filmed, pre-edited video, staged and everything, that I put for Ella Jane the Jazzy Cat. We hope. Oh, let's try this. Nope. Go back. Hold on.
Is that a video in it?
Yeah. Oops. Let me go back. I just had it.
Stand by.
Stand by.
Hi everyone, I'm Nanette Perrott, the author of Ella Jane the Jazzy Cat and Ella Fitzgerald's Fable. I am proud to bring you this bundle of not only a great audiobook, a great ebook, there's also art integrated.
Sound is low.
And a long song perfect for kids ages 4 to 6. I hope everyone enjoys singing along with the song and following along with the great Ella Jane the Jazzy Cat and Ella Fitzgerald's Fable. I'm Nanette Perrott. Thank you so much. Ella Jane the Jazzy Cat.
It's a very short 30-second video with 2 camera shots. There's the one that's just kind of like a full body, and then I stepped closer up to my camera and did a headshot. It's very, very simple. It's all natural lighting. And then the music, as you can tell, is my little hook-laden song that I wrote for the Ella Jane the Jazzy Cat. So before I do the next one, which is repurposing a live video from many, many years ago, and using that on my Facebook author page, choosing music is vital that you don't choose something that is so annoyingly canned that everyone is just going to hear it as noise in the background. So when you're searching for music clips to use in the background of your video, just Google free music sound clips. And there's a couple of really good sites where you can get some stuff for free that's interesting, like a little jazzy swing thing that's kind of like just an acoustic guitar. Just be very tasteful about what you put in the background, but you do have to have a bit of a music soundtrack behind you when you're doing something pre-recorded like that. So this next one that you're going to see is a live video that I did years ago on something that was called Periscope. And before we had Facebook Live and Instagram Stories, Periscope was a live streaming video program started by Twitter. And I remember I got on there years ago and I had no idea what I was doing, but I was practicing stuff, you know, kind of seeing what works. And then when I was looking for things to put on my Facebook author page, I remembered that in my cache, I had this video. And on this video on Periscope, I went on for 45 minutes. So I took, I mean, too long, way too long. So I took that 45-minute video and sliced it down to what you're going to see now. So I'm going to see if I can get it to play.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's the song.
The Jazzy Cat. Ella Jane, the Jazzy Cat. Ella Fitzgerald. The great thing about Ella is she transcends all kinds of generations. Not only her music does that, but her story and her personality. You are talking about someone who has incredible talent, incredible skill in the history of jazz, has an incredible story, like a rags to riches story that's just almost too good to be true. She has this very buoyant and fun voice that she just carries you along with her sparkly energy. Ella Jane, the Jazzy Cat. Calling out her cat. Stomping at the sound.
So there you go. It's very interesting to see myself in that. Christine, can you close your door or turn your volume down?
And we've got another person that joined. We've got a late joining student here named Barbara.
Good.
I want to make sure she's tuned in. Barbara, if you can hear us, find your chat box, and yep, you found it. You can communicate with us in the chat box. Nanette is just going through some examples of videos at the moment. Go ahead.
Yeah, so when you have that live video like that you is 45 minutes long, you can just slice it down and you can see that it's just something fuller than what I would put as an ad. So this was geared specifically for the people that are in my Nanette Perrott author page. That's why it's more kind of a thoughtful type of video. All right, so let's get to the next one. Oop. There we go. There we go. When we go deeper into making videos, this is where YouTube is vital. Now, Facebook is owned by Facebook, and Instagram is owned by Facebook. YouTube is owned by Google. The two of them hate each other. They're at internet fisticuffs to kind of rule the world. And so anytime you're making any kind of promotional videos, our #1 recommendation is you make your video and you upload it to Facebook first. Because because Facebook does not like it if you've uploaded your video to YouTube first and then you give them a link onto Facebook, because remember, they're at fisticuffs about dominating our media time. So the thing about YouTube is it's gaining traction, to use Christine's words, on Facebook, people are really going to YouTube to look for content that's deeper and more more than what they're going to get on Facebook. So what we're going to do here is take a look at two authors. The first one is John Green. He's an author, a vlogger, which is a video blogger, a producer and educator. He's won many awards besides that. And he is an incredible guy that has used YouTube incredibly well. So we'll look at one of his pages and you'll see how he's organized it in just a second. The next one we're going to look at is Rachel Hollis. She who wrote the extremely 888,000 and counting book called Girl, Wash Your Face. She has used social media incredibly well also, and she's specifically used YouTube. And I'm going to try to jump off of here. I don't know if I can give you, let's see how this works. There we go. And then I want to go over here. So here is John Green's YouTube page. Can everybody see that? Looks like everyone can see it. Christine, are you able to see that?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay, so this is John Green's page with his brother. It's called The Vlog Brothers. And basically what he has on here is just his basic logo. And then there's all kinds of categories here. Oops, categories going on here. This is a video that he did to promote his upcoming book.
Nanette, sorry,
yeah.
Your new page is not showing. I'm still seeing your slides.
Oh, you're still seeing my slides. Yeah. Let me see if I can do this here. Huh. You're not seeing my desktop?
Nope, just the slides.
Okay, let's try this. Hold on. See what happens if I do this. Let me go back. And are you able to see my web page now?
It's changing. It press the share button.
Charlie and Christine.
And then
can you see it now?
Right. Nope. If you hit share, and then is it something like change the share or new share?
I've got stop share, bring your shared window to the front, resume share,
yep.
New share.
New share, and then click your
there we go.
tab.
You got it?
Yep, there we go.
Good. Okay. So this is, sorry about that. This will be interesting. So let's take a look at what he has for, you see there's a little trailer here, Going Home with Alaska and Miles. I won't play the whole thing. It's 4 minutes, but it's just to promote his new book. Let's see if that plays.
The 8-episode Hulu adaptation of my first novel, Looking for Alaska, is supposed to begin shooting soon, and I wanted to show them around my old haunts. The trip was supposed to be for them, so they could see the place I based Culver Creek on, but I realize now that it was mostly for me. We walked around the campus of my old high school, which looks vastly different from when I was a student there, but still somehow retains its spirit. We visited the gym, including our academic decathlon banners, toured the school's incredible art studios, and talked to some students. And then, after a while, Charlie and Christine wandered off to look at the campus while I chatted with a couple of my old classmates. When you write a book, you have to let it go at some point. You stop fiddling with the text, and the story is set in print. And then it isn't yours anymore. Not really. It belongs to the people who read it, which is a wonderful and painful surrender. But Looking for Alaska was always different for me, partly because the book is about a kid from Florida who...
So you can see there that it's a handheld camera. It's probably his brother's phone or his phone. And he is selling without selling. He has managed to do 3 things: to make a really fun, organic, natural video. He has managed to promote his book yet again. And he's also managed to promote his new show that's going to be on Hulu. And I don't feel like I'm getting sold to, you know, when I hear that or when I see that. I'm seeing someone do something very slick. that obviously they practice quite a bit. So that's a great example of one. Let me close that window out. See if it lets me do that.
So go to the share as well.
Okay, well, let's go right to Rachel Hollis. So Rachel Hollis, can you see her now, Christine?
Yep.
Her teeth?
Yep.
Okay.
Your teeth, a lot of teeth.
Rachel Hollis is interesting, not only because of that book, Girl, Wash Your Face, but she is an author who is launching herself into the motivational public speaking world. So Ruth, this is where I was thinking this would be interesting for you, since you're a nutritionist who also obviously has a book about nutrition, to see how she's modeled it. So you see she's got her little motivational video here at the top. She's got a bunch of other little videos. Note the length of the videos: 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 26 minutes, because this is a pro video of her on stage. Because she's kind of doing this wanting to be an Oprah type thing, she's doing marriage and relationships, business and work life, her little family thing. She's got a huge following, obviously, among moms, style and beauty, fun and funny, and then way down the way, author and book nerd. It gives you on YouTube the opportunity to make all of these segments. So don't feel like you're just going to have video after video after video. You can divide them into different sections like she does, recipes and cocktails and things like that. So Rachel Hollis, you can tell, started off as an author and is making her way into the world of public speaking. Let's close that out for a second. I think I'm going to change things up a little bit here. Let's take a look at Jodi Picoult. She is an amazing, fantastic author who I think they were saying there's over 40 million books in print by her in 35 countries. So needless to say, girlfriend is all over the place.
We think she writes one a week, doesn't she?
I think Jodi sits down and writes them in her sleep, Christine, because she's got book after book after book after book.
We hate her, but that's okay.
She is a workhorse. So here's her book, to highlight her book tour. I don't know if this will go. Let's see if this is a thing she obviously did in her kitchen, if it loads. So this is her Facebook author page that we're looking at. So now we've kind of gone from YouTube.
I'm so excited to announce my upcoming tour for my new novel, A Spark of Light. I'm really excited about this book. It's about ordinary people whose lives intersect during a heart-stopping crisis. It's a look at reproductive rights from all angles. I love meeting my readers on tour, so I hope you'll come see me this fall. See you soon.
Notice the music, and there's her tour. So basically, you see that she's just got a very light little piano background going on there. And it's just very her against the wall, probably in her kitchen or in her office. She holds the book up, and it's very natural, very organic to promote her tour. Then we get to someone like Anne Rice. Does she need to do a Facebook author page? Apparently so, right? Apparently so. This is her fan page. There's the cover of the book at the top there. And then what I love about Anne is she actually did a Facebook Live. Let's see if we can get that to come up, just so you can get a minute of, this lady does not need to do this stuff.
Wow,
but,
that's pretty impressive.
You know, she has, she sold nearly 100 million copies. Here she is.
Sounds off.
Sounds off? Okay.
Or it's on, but it's out of track.
Okay.
Not your fault.
What I love about that, though, is her visuals, her backdrop. And Christine and I talk about this in video marketing and broadcasting. Unlike Jodi, you can see all her toy collection of little houses she has in the back there. You know, it's very much how you would imagine Anne Rice's house to be, right? She's got a great little bit of bling going on there. Very different than Jodi. Very, very different. But she is on there using Facebook Live with over 100 million books sold. Then there's this author, me.
Oh.
And I've sold 17 copies of Ella Jane the Jazzy Cat.
Yay.
Since its release in January 2019. Well, let's be real here, folks. Okay, so we are writers, and it's nice to see Jody. It's nice to see Anne. It's nice to see Rachel. It's nice to see everybody, John. But this is the reality of what it's going to be. Marketing is that race that Christine posted. It's not a, oh my gosh, I'm going to do the 50-yard dash and people will buy 100 million copies of my book. I think we all know that, but I think the reality of time, the amount of time that it takes to market your book is a bit mind-boggling if you think about it too much. So just knowing that you're going to be planning things out for the long haul is really important. And that was such an eye-opener for me because I have 150 plus people that liked my Nanette author page. And I thought, wow, if only 50 of these 150 people buy my book in the first week, that's pretty darn good. Well, the reality is 17. Is that right? Yeah, 17, I think, as I checked this morning. 17 as of today.
Well, it's been up for 2 months. Is that right?
2 months. Yeah, 2 months. You know, and I had this feeling that when I did this author page, that everyone was gonna buy it from there. And that's not the point, really. This page is just to get people into your process, getting to know, like, and trust you. I think the sales come outside and the sales come much later. Does that make sense, Christine?
Yeah, it totally does. You're building the relationships here. You're making sure they know about you and can find you when they need to, and the sales will happen at events, at the Amazon page, whatever, at the publisher's page, and in bookstores. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that was my big misconception. I thought that all 150 plus people were going to buy it, and that's definitely not the case. But what it did do was it showed me when I invited these people into this group who my fans were, who my lifers are. And that was really interesting because on my public page, I have almost 1,000 people on there. So 150 plus people out of that I have in here. I know that those are my lifers. Those are the ones that are going to spread the word and be interested. So some of my posts, for example, again, about process, this is one that I did a week ago, a little over a week ago, is about writing articles, letting them know. Very simple photograph, 41 people, not too good of a post, not too interesting. There we are. And then the videos varied from me just showing them how I was editing my audio for the audiobook.
Yeah.
See how the audio is on this. Showing them the process.
Oh, is that what is that, your shot of your screen?
Yeah, it's a shot of GarageBand, yep.
Yep. So the sound machine, as it were.
Yeah.
GarageBand is a wonderful thing.
Yeah. So basically what I was doing there was not wanting to give a GarageBand demo. All I wanted to do there was just have an opportunity to chit chat with folks and tell them and remind them that it is not only an ebook, it's an audiobook, but again, it's getting into the process. So I'm going to bounce us back to our Zoom page. So I think I want to do new share.
Yep.
And then back to my desktop again. Okay, then I think I can move. There's what I want. Let's see if this works. Let me shrink this.
Please, as Nanette does this, type into the chat box any questions you have at this point, and we will end with, I'm going to open up your mics and cameras, and we'll do questions and comments all together when we're done here. Go ahead, Nanette.
Okay, so are we back on my
Yep.
John Green?
Yep, we're back to John Green.
Okay.
And Rachel Hollis and a camera.
Okay, but we've gone through this, and I haven't even brought up Instagram. What about Instagram? How on earth are authors using Instagram for their books? So everyone is going to repeat after me, or as you say in French, répétez après moi. Instagram stories, Instagram stories, Instagram stories.
Yes.
This might be a workshop that Christine and I will have to do separately. Everyone now knows that Instagram was the thing where you kind of scrolled through all of your pictures this way, and it was primarily an image-based media form. Well, now they've developed what are called Instagram stories, and these are short little video clips that authors take throughout their day, again, to give folks a glimpse into what their work in progress is. They're short little video clips that you post on your Instagram story feed. There's videos of people's workspace. I did that. There's boomerangs, which are those videos that kind of bounce back and forth. You all have seen that. They're annoying, but people absolutely love boomerangs. For some reason, it's just mesmerizing. So you can use boomerangs of you holding anything, holding a pen or a pencil. Boomerangs of you at one of your reading events, kind of waving your book. You can even boomerang your pet dogs, cats, go over really big on video. And then also Instagram has something called IGTV, where you can also go live where you answer reader questions. The thing to remember with Facebook versus Instagram is who your demographic is. What is the age range of the people that you are talking to? Instagram for me is a lot younger than what I find on even my Facebook author page. Instagram for me is typically male and female that are the ages between 20 and 35. So I know anything I do on there has got to be kind of funky, kind of quirky, and really fast. But I do want them to see my Ella Jane the Jazzy Cat book, because as Christine that said, I have other things down the line that I know I'm writing specifically for them. So I want to engage them in my process as well. So don't forget about Instagram. Just understand that you're going to be using Instagram stories when you get on there. And then lastly, I want to talk a bit about e-commerce. If you are going as an indie author, which predominantly all of us will be, the reality is, here's the number, a publishing house like HarperCollins will not even look at you until you've sold at least 10,000 copies of your book. They won't even look at you. Pen drop, right? Mic drop. They won't even look at you. So what's wonderful now is for us as authors, the indie author world is really the hot spot right now. That's where people really are looking for the next new thing. There are these e-commerce sites, and Ruth, I know we've talked to you about Gumroad before, such as Gumroad, that are set up so wonderfully for people like us to sell our book, sell CDs or anything like that, but it's really high end. And here's the thing that's going to connect this e-commerce to us. They need video as well. When you enroll yourself into Gumroad, they give you two opportunities to put a video on there. One is to market your product, and then the other one is to market yourself. So they're going to be looking for video from you as well. We chose Gumroad because first of all, the guy that founded Gumroad is one of the originators of Pinterest. And he's really made this really for creatives, really for a place to go and look for things that creatives make and try and sell. So when you're looking at e-commerce, understand that you're going to have to be making other short videos for that site as well. So there's a lot that's going to be happening in terms of what you're going to have to be filming. And you'll learn that as you travel along, as you go through these different avenues of getting yourself on a Facebook author page, getting yourself on Instagram stories, and getting yourself a build-up of videos on a YouTube channel. So that's my end of this whole thing. Are there any questions you can type into the comments there that maybe
and you know what,
we didn't address?
I think we'll open the mics and cameras, and you can talk to us.
Good.
Is that right? If you're down there, see if I can do that. You might have to pass the controls back to me, Nanette.
Okay, I'm going to do stop share.
Manage participants, but do type it into the chat box if you'd rather, but we're going to open the mics and open your cameras if you have one, if you don't mind. So just to follow up on what Nanette was, Terry is asking, we need a separate author email address too. Also, how about Goodreads? Oh, I don't know if you need a separate author email address. If you've got an email address that works for you at this point, I think that's fine.
I just wouldn't call it like bootsy@aol.com. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like you maybe yours should be Terry S. Johnson @gmail or terry@sjohnson.com or something like that.
Yeah. Nanette, did you hand me back the control?
Oh, I thought okay. So I hit share or
says make host.
Oh, wait a minute. Make host.
Sorry, folks. And then Goodreads. Goodreads is a good point, Terry. Goodreads is a whole social media site unto itself. I think all of us need to be there, and we have not taught on that topic. But Goodreads is a good a good place for all of us to read. I don't know. I think if you hover over your name, Nanette.
Let me see.
Oh, here, I get to claim the host from you. I just did that.
Okay.
I claimed it.
Okay.
All right, I am unmuting all of you. All of you say something, say hello, say anything.
Hi.
Hi. Hey,
Hello.
thank you.
Don is there. Ruth?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, and Barbara?
Yes, hello.
Excellent. Barbara came in late and it was entirely my bad. I did not get the link to our presentation. So we'd love to just talk amongst ourselves, questions that you have, anything you were confused about that we said, or anything you're skeptical about that we said. Or I'm going to ask.
How do we ask a question? How does a person ask a question?
Is this Barb?
Yes.
Yeah, just go right ahead. Shout it out.
Okay. So I just wrote a self-help book for teenagers, and it's on the topic of adoption. So it's a little, I won't say scary. It's just undefined for me how I put that topic out into the public, because I've had already just people reacting to me because they're not where I am in the kind of process of being open about adoption. So, you know, it's not a topic you're going to like do a boomerang thing, or you have to be kind of a little bit clear on how you want the public to understand where you're coming from. And it's a touchy subject. So what I've done so far is I've been going to conferences, and, you know, I have to get accepted to speak, and I don't get accepted to each one. And I'm traveling all over the country, which is expensive, and I can't do that all the time. So I'm just not sure how to market myself using something like this. Do you get my drift?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would say is, of course, yeah, you wouldn't be doing boomerangs and things like that. In any one of these things, you always have to think about your audience and who they are. I mean, my first thought would be to make a private Facebook group where, again, you invite people into that, and where it's not just anyone, a stranger can get on there. That would be my first thought. And then my second thought for YouTube would be, you know, I think that you would maybe think about creating a series of topics around adoption. It doesn't have to be specific stories or of adoptions, but maybe a series of like helpful tips or something like that, that maybe isn't quite so intense. Because also the thing with YouTube is that actually in any of these, the goal is to always gear them back towards your book. So how can you step into a platform like YouTube with more of a general series on something to bring them closer into, you know, the subject matter, which is more intense? I don't know if that helps you any.
That's very helpful.
Yeah. And did that make sense to the rest of you? Anybody else? Does it raise questions for any of the rest of you? Hello, Betty.
Hi.
Yeah.
Like my teacher?
Propaganda.
She has a Frosties t-shirt on. Yeah. Well, I have a question, not
Yes,
exactly
go.
on that line. So we're actually pretty active with a couple local libraries here in South Carolina, and they like to have actually readers, authors come.
Of course.
They're pretty, both these local libraries, there's probably many others who would welcome authors with new books, and I have a new book coming up. And so if you're going to go to the trouble to do a reading and maybe answer questions about, in my case, Brazil probably, and or how the book was written, can you combine that with video? Is there some way that you could use excerpts from that? Or, and also a second related question, is this all done with just cell phone cameras? Nothing fancy?
Nothing fancy. Yep. See what the net is holding up there? A smartphone.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
And the phone that you're walking around with in your pocket, we always say this, don't we, Nanette, is as good a quality as that thing that used to be running around on the top of Mars, the Mars rover.
All right.
Yes. So to answer your first question, an event at a library is video gold, isn't it, Nanette?
Yes.
Yes. So shoot yourself, have someone shooting you, doing the reading, doing the talking about the book. Advertise it on Facebook ahead of time using the event feature of Facebook. You could even build a video into the event showing who you are and what you're going to be doing. And then if you can even master broadcasting live from that event, right, Nanette?
That would be my recommendation, and here's why. My husband did a reading last week, and I thought, oh wow, wouldn't it be cool just to film him using the camera app in my phone, and just put it in my phone, and I could download it to the computer and edit it all nicely. But what happens is when you just do it that way, you run out of space on your phone. So my phone kept saying, I don't have enough storage. I don't have enough storage. I don't have enough storage. So when you do your reading, do it on Facebook Live. Go live and just do it on Facebook Live, because Facebook Live saves all of that data. So you're not going to be running into the problem that I had. Then again, I don't want to go into whole video marketing and broadcasting, but just remember, do Facebook Live. You're going to download it onto your computer from Facebook, and then you can edit it and repurpose it later. So my recommendation is don't videotape it, go live, download it, and edit it and repurpose it later.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, such readings would probably be an hour long or something.
Yep.
Well, not the reading, but reading and discussion questions would probably, it'd probably book you for an hour at the library, something like that.
Sure. And a live broadcast can go an hour. People will stick with you.
Yeah.
And then you've got a good video that is forever, and you can edit and repurpose, as we say. Nanette already said that.
I guess I have another question that's not actually related to digital media, or is this improper?
Oh, well, it depends on the question. We'll let you know.
All right. You're going to say that's not appropriate. Actually, years ago, I did some radio interviews, and talk radio people especially are really hungry for, they're hungry for people to interview.
Yep.
I mean, and so that's kind of I suppose you could actually do video of that too, but
sure.
Those are just done out of your living room. You're interviewed to a radio talk show someplace in St. Louis or something. So I don't know, that's kind of out of what you've been talking about, but
no,
something we've been thinking about.
No, you should be live streaming the interview.
Okay. Well,
yeah, if you're
people do that all the time.
Yeah, but radio programs worth their salt are now using Facebook Live broadcasting from their studio. It's really weird. But like you say, Don, you might be in South Carolina and the radio station might be in Los Angeles. Then it gets a little tricky. But
Right. The last one I did, which has been some years, the interviewer was in Minneapolis and I was in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We could we'll talk offline in the group perhaps on that one further, Don. Terry's got a question.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused about where to post the video first. You said that there's a competition between Facebook and YouTube. So what do? Do the video on Facebook first and then do it on YouTube?
Yes. Yeah, Nanette, you explain that.
Yeah. So go live on Facebook if you're doing that, and then download it onto your computer, and then from there, re-upload it onto YouTube. If
Okay.
you have pre-recorded a video, like the one where I'm wearing the polka dot shirt, just upload it to Facebook first, and then I usually wait like 24 hours, then I'll upload it to YouTube second.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, and that just has to do, Facebook will punish you if you use, so any video that can be loaded to YouTube generates a link to it, a URL, a unique website address for that video that's over on YouTube. It's easy to bring that over and drop it into a Facebook post, but don't, because Facebook will see that it's come from YouTube and punish you. Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay to put it there in YouTube, but don't bring that same link over to Facebook.
So do it Facebook first, then YouTube.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Can I ask a question also when you have a second?
So,
Barbara.
Barbara, yeah, hold on just a second. Nanette, did we talk about creating a YouTube channel should be one of your marketing efforts, right?
Definitely. You got to create a YouTube channel.
Yeah. And that's just a process of going there and opening an account and uploading your first video, and you've got a channel.
Yeah. Yeah. You saw those writers, I mean, they're big time, but it's, seeing Rachel Hollis's one where there's all the different layers of what she does, it's really, you have to do it.
Barbara, was that you that had a question?
Yeah, I just remember I used to use my MacBook Pro, had QuickTime, and I would make a video, but then when I tried to post it on Facebook, it said it was too long, or YouTube, they only would give me 15 minutes. Is that still the same way now? No?
No. What? Oh, go ahead, Christine.
I think they've given it much longer. There's almost no limit.
Right. And on YouTube, what they do is they want to see you post several short videos first, and then they'll let you know when when you've graduated to them feeling like you should be able to post something longer. So that's YouTube's way of kind of controlling what's on there. Facebook, I think, pretty much lets anybody post as long as they want right away.
Yes. That's not to say that you should, because we know that people have no attention spans whatsoever these days. So keep it short, to the extent that you can, Barbara. And if you've got a long thing, think about how can you break it up? Where are the obvious breaks for you to cut it short?
Right.
Yeah, because doing a series is fantastic because you leave them wanting more. So why not think of doing a series too, especially on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Think about we say this in our live workshops, think about the Barbara Show happens every Friday at noon, and put up something new every Friday or go live every Friday. Think of consistent delivery of consistent content.
I see.
That helps you build your audience.
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
What else out there?
Can you ladies talk a little bit more about hi, it's Ruth, and I'm sorry that you guys can't see me. I just can't figure out how to make the video work.
That's okay. Ruth is beautiful, everybody. Okay.
Thank you, Christine. So can you give me some more tips on how to transfer people from my business page to my author page?
Oh, yeah, and I answered that badly in the chat box there, Ruth.
No, I got what you said, but then you said there were a bunch of other things too, so I'm wondering what those other things are.
Yeah, so if I'm understanding what Ruth is talking about, Ruth already has a business page for which she has many followers. How many, Ruth?
It's probably about 825 at this point.
Yeah, so that's rather huge for her small business. And so she wants to bring people from that business page over to the author business page.
Okay, now I understand.
Because they're, I'm assuming, intricately linked, the topics, for one. And furthermore, the people who love you already because of your business are going to love the book that you wrote because of your business. So you can make a post on the original business page that says, hey, I'm now over on this other business page, and know that every business page you create has its own unique web address that you can drop into a post. So you can write a post that says, come over here, click through, and come like me. That's sort of a direct route, but will have limited results probably. But just to be able to mention the other page on your existing page often, maybe once a week at the start, would be a great strategy. The other things I was going to mention, every time you if you're still doing e-blasts to your business people as well, make sure you're doing an e-blast about, hey, by the way, I now have this other page for you to like, and you include the link to it in there.
I think too, when we're doing this stuff, because it can be cray-cray, because you've got your personal page, you have your business page, you have your author page, you have your Facebook groups. And it's to be very clear, once you start splintering away from even your business page into an author page and a Facebook group page, be very clear with folks in your description as to what it is they're actually getting into. Yeah. So, like I said earlier, no one needs to join another Facebook group, but you need to be very clear that when you invite them to your author page, that you are writing that note saying, I invited you to this group because I know you would be interested in nutrition for women over 50 or whatever. So be very specific about that when you start splintering away from even your professional page.
Okay, great. Thanks.
And then finally, how you could alert the people on your existing business page. Once you've been active on your author page, it's easy to share a post from one to the other, from your author one back to the original business page, or back to your personal page if you want.
And you can use, I used my insights for that. So the Facebook insights on my author page, when we were looking at my page, there was that one that only had 41 looks, which that's not one that I would share to the other page. But there were other ones that had like 150. Everybody loved it. So that to me said, oh, I'll put that onto my, onto my pro page. And I even put it onto my personal page. So use the insights. It's almost like you're using this author page because they are your besties, they're your lifers, to really hone in on what the mass public would be interested in, what they're going to fall in love with. So look at those insights when you start posting within your Facebook author page. What do people like? And then share it out with a larger audience.
Great.
Yeah, wow. Great points.
Thank you.
One of the things I wanted to clarify back, Nanette was talking about Gumroad, the e-commerce site that we have used. She, for her package of Jazzy Cat audio and book, and the bundle that you're all getting from us afterwards is 4 short videos, 4 PDFs, and a planner thing. So Gumroad can handle PDFs, it can handle audio files, it can handle an ebook, as opposed to
and video.
And video, thank you. That's the point. As opposed to my book is just on Amazon, because Amazon has capabilities for ebook and paperback, to produce it in paperback on demand. So I didn't need Gumroad for that, but just know that Gumroad is, as Nanette said, set up for creatives and for downloading a PDF as opposed to a pre-formatted ebook. So it's for people to download it and to pay you money for it. That's the point.
And also, there's 2 other advantages to going with a separate e-commerce site as opposed to Amazon. Number one is fiscal. Okay, Amazon takes most of the money away. You won't get hardly any of it. Whereas Gumroad, they only take a small percentage of it. Also, what happens is that on something like Gumroad, you are able to kind of keep the email addresses of the people that are buying your stuff.
Yes.
So one of the drawbacks to being, my husband's been on Amazon as an audiobook recorder for 5 years. He has sold thousands and thousands and thousands of audiobooks. We don't have an email for a single one of those people. But if you go with a smaller indie one like Gumroad, they'll give you their email. You get their email. So why not, again, since it's so much easier now for indie authors, which we all are, to see who our customers are. Give something like Gumroad a try, knowing, again, you're in this for the long haul. And then when you start to see things peter out, then you can maybe think about going to Amazon, or once you've gotten what you feel like is enough in terms of email addresses, then maybe you can go to Amazon.com. So those are 2 things to remember when you choose where you're going to house your book.
Wow.
Yeah, Gumroad is awesome. We've got 6 months experience with it or something, and I'm just in love with the site. Yeah.
Good guy too that started it.
And good guy. What else have we got up there? Did we blow your mind? Because this is a lot to take in.
I've got one more question for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, oh gosh, you just went out I just lost it. But okay, I'll just try with this. Yeah. So, how many hours do you think as an author that it's going to take to spend on these different social media sites and Gumroad and the Facebook pages to kind of get a good start? You know, just an average, kind of ballparky. Like if I was going to get into this, what do you think I should be for my own budget and time management? What would I need to be doing daily? Kind of how much time do you think I need to invest or weekly?
Yeah. So thank you. That's a great question, Barbara. At the beginning, we talked about you're going to have to set aside time in your day to do this, to pay attention to your marketing. That's number one rule. Set aside time or it won't happen. We're all great evidence of that, are we not? But so I try to, you know, every Monday morning I declare is book marketing day as opposed to do my other work day. So I start with that and then work it in. But in terms of how much time a day, I'm going to answer like a lawyer. It depends. Do not, and we also said in the beginning, do not try to tackle 3 social media sites at once. Start with Facebook, master it, and then move on. Maybe add Instagram after that. That would be my recommendation. Facebook, then Instagram. In there, play with video. So give yourself an hour a week to play with video to get comfortable doing that. But how much time it takes, you're going to have to limit yourself because it could take 24 hours a day if you let it. What do you think?
You know, I would probably say every day on social media, I'll spend about an hour.
Doing marketing work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have it built in, you know, and then there's like Thursday, which I know is my creative day. So I kind of don't do anything on Thursday. But here's the other thing. I think Barbara asked that question. Also use your insights to look at when you're on your professional page, look at when your people are online. Because my folks, nobody's online on Monday, even on my Instagram page. So Monday is kind of like, unlike Christine, my gang don't go on Facebook. You know, she creates stuff on Monday. Yeah. And I actually, you know, will create stuff, you know, Sunday morning when I'm planning out my week. And I won't even post anything on Monday. I don't even bother because no one's going to look. And I also want to give them a bit of a break too. So look at your insights in terms of when people are on. So that will tell you how many posts you're going to need. So if you say, you know, 1 post a day, it may not be 7 posts a week. It might just be 5 posts a week that you need. So look at when your people are online and satisfy that. So don't get the overwhelm with, I got to do something every day. They're not there every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that circling back to my mantra, once a day, every day, no more, no less. Work up to that. Start tomorrow doing that because you will make yourself crazy. You all understand what insights are. That's the data behind your page. So pay attention to the data. Set aside time each week to pay attention to your data so you know when your people are online.
And where is that located on Facebook?
Yeah, you're, Terry, is it right? You don't have a business page yet?
No.
Right. So once you create one, insights will be present for you right on the front page up at the top. It's not something that personal Facebook pages have.
No wonder I've never heard of it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so insights are your web analytics. That's the way to think about it.
Trying to find it
and it will show you in great granular detail who's how many people are you reaching, what days of the week are best, what times of day are best. And that's what Nanette was referring to. You might find out nobody's looking at my stuff on Monday. I recently reminded myself what my insights were saying, and I'm finding that it's all about Sundays for me now, which never was the case.
Yeah.
That could be an interesting webinar that you guys do, because I'll be honest with you, I look at that stuff and I don't know the difference between an engagement and whatever else. It's like, I'm not even sure what's really important. I mean, I can look at it sort of like as a mass of information and get some detail, but I think there's probably much, much more that I could mine out of that and just really don't know.
It is kind of eye-crossing for sure, Ruth. Thanks for that tip. But it's tons of data, and basically, in short, here's what you do. You look at the data. It tells you what's working and what's not. Whatever's working, do more of that.
Yeah.
That's my 20-second webinar, but I do a whole no charge for that one. But I do a whole thing on that. It's extremely granular on each post that you make, and on the topic of video. Nanette, have you done this? On a video post, they not only tell you how many saw it, who liked it, who commented, who shared, they tell you how many seconds of it people watched.
Yes, they do. And that's so painful.
It
and
is
then
painful.
here's my webinar, Ruth, on your insights. So you go to the page where they have all the pictures of your posts and you look at the numbers, and the ones that have the biggest numbers, you just replicate it again.
Yep.
Okay.
Go with the big one. Yep. That's absolutely right.
But
Mine
yeah,
is kind of consistent day to day. It's not like I can say
okay.
people aren't on Mondays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're one of the
my numbers.
7-day a weekers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to,
Oh, you have to stop. I just remember my question. Is there still time?
no, go ahead. Well,
Okay, just real quickly, and then I'm going to have to exit in a couple of minutes. I just was looking at my website, and I had some work done by a professional person who wants to charge me $250 a month to make sure that my website stays kosher, so to speak, like updated and doesn't have viruses and things like that. I don't know that much about it, but it's a lot of money. And I'm wondering, do you think you could get more done by just doing this kind of marketing and maybe pay less attention to your website?
oh, you want to take that one, Nanette, or you want me? I have a strong opinion.
I do too, but I wonder if our opinion is the same. You need a website. You don't need to pay someone $250 a month to take care of your website. I feel that a website is a solid kind of building, and that you just build your building, and then that social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are the rooms where people come and have dinner. They're where they come and hang out, and they get to know, like, and trust you. So I would say I wouldn't pay $250 a month to have someone make my website. I pay Squarespace. I think it's $16 a month, and it's a really nice website. Y'all can check it out. But I spend most of my time in my dining room and my living room with my peeps.
That's a great analogy.
Okay. Yeah. So I think the money was to make sure you're up. Like, there's a web care plan. That's what the money's all about.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Okay.
If you're already bought in, I mean, it's okay, but I think they might be selling you a bill of goods, and I'm not a fan of web designers.
Okay.
And if they ever say to you, and we can manage your social media for you, no, they cannot.
Okay.
But as Nanette said, spend time in Facebook, and your website is your solid presence that you own. You do not own Facebook, and that's why everybody should have a website at least. So we learned that yesterday. Facebook went out yesterday for 5 hours, and if you're in the business I'm in, which is to tell people how to use Facebook, I was twiddling my thumbs and saying bad words for 5 hours yesterday. So because that you don't own that, you need to have something that you own, an online presence that you own, and that's a website.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And I do have that. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, I have to go because I have a client. Thank you very much.
We have to hang up. Just reminders. You're going to get instructions. I promise you will get instructions on how to join our alumni group. After, look for that tomorrow morning. You will get this in video format tomorrow morning. So Barb, you'll be able to catch on what you missed.
Thank you very much.
You will get instructions on how to download the From Awkward to Amazing bundle that we put up on Gumroad, taking you from awkward to amazing on video, where Nanette gives us all confidence to be on camera. Okay, all those instructions will come to you tomorrow morning. Any last words?
Thank you very much. It was very helpful. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to hang up on all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Well, I can't hang up.